Welcome, everybody, to the news segment, the final news segment of December 30th. My name is Ken. Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it. If you are listening to this, Happy New Year, because this will be released on New Year's, or a day after New Year's, Monday the 2nd. But if you're listening live, obviously it's still 2022. Let's go around and see what everybody is drinking for this segment of Better on Draft, starting with Wendy. Wendy, what do you got?
Well, I am drinking a Cerebral Scrub from Agma Brewing. Man, their IPAs are amazing. And I also have a Plead the Fifth S'mores edition from Dark Horse, which is my favorite of the Plead the Fifths this year.
They definitely sent us away with some goodies for that episode. Go check out our 3-part episode on the Michigan series for Dark Horse / Roke. Where we did a pre-COVID type of episode, followed by like the COVID years of Dark Horse, and then what's upcoming. Go check that out on our podcast. Rob, what do you got?
I've got myself a Untitled Arts Chocolate Milk Dark Brew, one of their non-alcoholic brews. It is so damn good. And feel for the Plead the Fifth. Had to throw it out there.
Dan, what's going on in Arizona?
Yeah, so I found this gem. I can't even remember when we had these guys on, but I found this in my cupboard. I have an IPA number 5 from Groundbreaker Brewing and Gastropub. If that tastes like complete ass, I do have a Yingling Black and Tan to back it up.
I did get the opportunity when I went to Marino's today to pick up some Yingling for a friend, so I am hoping that they enjoy it. I know. I realize I forgot how quick it is to get to Toledo from where I am. Especially because
Marino down 23.
Yeah, and Marino's is right off of 23, so it is simple, easy. But I was just doing that to kill time. Dan, that beer is a year and a half old.
Oh, I'm excited.
We had them on episode 260, which was June of 2021.
Oh boy.
For myself, I did not get to that alt beer I took out, so I put it back in the fridge. I'm still drinking this black cherry 24-ounce can of hard seltzer.
How's that going for you?
It tastes like a hard seltzer. I mean, honestly, it tastes as sweet as a Mountain Dew. So for zero sugar, I'm kind of surprised. I'm curious what they put in it for artificial flavoring. But to finish the year, I have my favorite beer from the Maine Beer Co., which is
lunch.
A Mean Old Tom.
That's a Mean Old Tom. That's right,
so. Let's remind you, Ken. This is your first beer of the year. The show's after the New Year.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, technically.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Didn't have any beer at the Lions game that they won yesterday because today's Monday.
You know, speaking of football, Robin, I almost brought this up during the interview segment. Can you imagine? We're talking about Ben Roethlisberger. Can you imagine next week, week 18, Ben Roethlisberger still playing, and here comes Deshaun Watson into fucking Pittsburgh? They would have to shut down every strip club, massage parlor, and escort service in the city.
Jeez.
Because the two of them, yeah.
Like, I mean, I can't. The funny thing was that, like, and I guess for everybody who's listening to the news segment, go back to the episode with Tristan about his negative Yelp review about Ben Roethlisberger, which, you know, as a Steeler fan, a lifelong Steeler fan, you know, I can't say one way, you know, that, you know, hey, it's what I expected is that that was going to be the review. But damn it, if Deshaun Watson can't, shit.
The two of them unleash on the city.
The fact that, I mean, we just like go back to back, like sandwich it between Ben Roethlisberger, Michael Vick, and a Deshaun Watson. Like, I think I would just hide my shit. Like I would just like go Chiefs. Like, fuck.
I mean, one of them did go to jail.
Well, yes, one did.
One served some time. So I won't say how our country and fandom puts the lives of dogs over certain people, but I digress.
Yeah.
We got the news, the final news of the year. Let's start with Dan. Dan, I want to hear from you. What do you got going on this week?
So I got a fun one. It's end of the year. We've got these stupid best of lists that come out. So
like the best Mountain Dew Zero Sugar Seltzer right here, Black Cherry, baby.
Number
you just
one. Threw in my article. Thanks, Ken. I'm really disappointed. Anyways, so this one's a fun one. Highest rated stout in every state of 2022, according to VinePair.com.
I already know where this is going.
You already know where this is going.
For Michigan, I already know where it's going to be. It's frustrating, but it's going to be there.
Hold on. So we're going to get there. Actually, I do take a little bit of a difficulty with this article. I have a little bit of beef about this. So part of the article, they say to create this list, VinePair identified the top-rated stouts in each state with at least 100 user ratings on Beer Advocate, with the exception of Hawaii, North Dakota, and South Dakota, none of which produce a stout with at least 100 votes. I don't know who they talked to in Hawaii. Hawaii has some of the best stouts I've ever tasted anywhere. And for them to even suggest that none of these breweries are actually make stout is kind of insulting. It kind of shocked me to kind of see that. So I might have to write them an email. Anyway, some of the notable mentions I wanted to talk about for some other states. Arizona, Ken, at least I know I've shared this with you. It was going to be one of two, and I was right on because it was going to be one of the two. I thought it was White Russian Imperial Stout, which is a coffee Imperial stout. Rob, I'm going to let you try and guess this. What do you think California is?
You're going to let me. I would hope that it's going to be Bottle Logic.
But which beer?
Fundamental observation.
100% correct. Yep. I had a feeling there's a lot of stouts out of California. Belgian Beaver especially surprised me, could have taken that. But anyways, I want to go around to see what everyone thinks Michigan's is. Rob, we're going to go to you last. So we're going to start with Wendy on this one.
What do I think it is, or what do I think it should be?
What do you think it is? What do you think was named I
think it's going to be KBS.
Okay, Ken?
Oh, Wendy, you're so close. So close. Because it's not KBS.
Ken, you read the article.
I did not.
Skip Ken.
Oh,
Rob, what do you think?
Stout?
No,
it's like it's the same one every fucking year. It's fucking Charlotte Street's CBS.
Yep. 100%.
Still?
Yeah.
Every damn year.
I don't lie. That's the best stout by far that comes out of Michigan. Milkshake Stout is a close second, but yeah, I will buy every bottle of CBS I ever see out there because I think it is that good. So I can understand it.
I don't understand how. I guess here's the thing that, there's, and I guess with this list, because, with Founders not being craft anymore, that there's a lot of websites and journalistic pieces that have taken them out of contention from being in the list because they're no longer craft. But even with that, we have over 440 other breweries that are in this state. And you're telling me that there's another brewery doesn't make another stout that 100 plus people can vote and have a better rating or like something, I guess, relatively close than that.
So Dan,
I just want to know where my Waxwing folks are at, because I can't believe 100 people didn't vote them up. And I love CBS. That it was my whale at one point, but maybe I'm just jaded because now I can get it anytime I want. That I'm like, okay, whatever. And Waxwings I gotta drive to get, and sometimes I can't get it even if I drive there. Like, I don't know.
Well, that's probably why.
I still think that there's better stouts. Like, it's not a bad stout by any means. Don't get me wrong. It is one of my favorites, but I just think there's other things out there, and there are people buying other things.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why that one keeps coming up.
And I think pound for pound, Transients is better. I think that's Canuckley is their maple barrel aged stout. I think that's better. Of course, that's me, and I'm one of less than 100 apparently that didn't make it up there.
Oh, hold on, because Dan really buried the lead with a very important part of this article, and it's 100 user ratings on Beer Advocate.
Oh, you're right. I did skip that part.
And Beer Advocate Beer Advocate does not care whether it falls under the umbrella or not, because they're taking everything.
So with this, using the rules 100, the number one stout in Michigan, according to Untapped, is Doozy Hawk from Holmes.
Ooh.
Number two is Buckley Reserve number 2 from Transient. And number 3 is Buckley Reserve number 1. Let's see if I could find Black Note Stout is the next one.
Doozy Hawk, that Doozy is a killer. My goodness.
Yeah, there's if you look at the top beers from Michigan, it's basically a shit ton of Shrams, followed by a handful of sours from Holmes and other places, and then the first not stout, not sour. Unless you take Pina Colada Smooge, which is a 441. Bourbon Barrel Aged Fourth Dementia. That is the highest rated not stout mead sour. So, yeah, but that's Beer Advocate's like a time capsule these days.
I didn't even know people still use it, honestly.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, that's probably why VinePair chose to use it as opposed to something else. I could probably come up with a better list utilizing Untapped and go from there. But it's like the highest rated stout in every state 2022, so it doesn't even get into how many beers have been made, because I'm curious what's in Iowa. KBBS. Okay, I was curious KBBS was going to be.
So the one that really catches my eye, you're looking at Iowa. If you go up to Illinois, Bourbon County brand coffee stout. The highest rated. That came out 35 days ago. So I don't know how it became the highest rated stout in Illinois for 2022.
Well, I'm sure it's. If you look at the website on Beer Advocate, it tells you the different variants and stuff. So it's just the consistently ranked, not 2022. It's the top rated. It's VinePair. I think we're really discussing how great VinePair is, or not.
We're discussing VinePair at this point.
I mean,
send them an email.
Because even going to California, and yes, I am a Bottle Logic snob. I completely biased 100%. I am fucking guilty. But at the same time, as many as the barrel-aged stouts that they make, personally, for me, I don't think Fundamental Observation is the best one that they make. I think, I think Dark Star November is pretty damn good. I think
probably my favorite. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the problem is they don't make it every year. They alternate it with Red Eye November most years, so you don't get it. It's either one or the other, so it's tough to get it rated up there if they're going by these Beer Advocate.
Highest rated stout on Untapped in California is Monster Tones by Modern Times.
That is a damn good beer. Without a doubt, I would agree with that.
I have not seen any Bottle Logic, and I'm trying to scroll slow and fast. There we go. Bottle Logic, their top stout is Deprecophobia.
I don't know if I know that one.
I don't think I know that one either.
That is their top rated stout. That's almost at 2,000 ratings too. Black Tuesday Blueberry Pancake, the regular Black Tuesday, those are all rating around 4.5. So yeah, this I think this is just a bad list. I wish that we had a graphic
website.
Graphic that I could
website.
Send a letter to their articles.
Send an email.
Send an email.
We're sending an email.
I'm gonna send a fax.
It's your fax number.
I got a bone to pick with you.
Oh, goodness.
Rob, what's your article?
Well, my article kind of changed a little bit because I was looking at this one about Prohibition era beer laws still kind of existing in the present, and then Texas happened. So I'm kind of feel like I'm just going to stick with Texas on this one. And I didn't realize that this is what happened on Christmas as well. But obviously, as we have that both Christmas and New Year's falling on the weekend, that for Texans, Dry January is going to start a little earlier this year. And apparently, just like Christmas, the liquor stores will be closed for 61 hours straight from New Year's Eve until January 2nd, in observance of the state's blue law backed by the Texas Alcoholic Beverage Commission. So basically, if you are planning on getting any cocktails, getting the beer, getting any wines, some spirits, you need to be there like now.
So
do they close on the weekends?
Commission.
Ken, write that down. We have to remember that.
What's that?
The Texas alcohol.
This is just a New Year's law.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Wendy,
kind of like the old 6 p.m. law here in Michigan for Christmas. Go on, Wendy.
So the Texas Alcoholic Commission, was that Texas Alcohol Commission?
Yeah, the Texas Alcoholic Beverage Commission.
Okay, they don't want you to buy alcohol in Texas.
In Texas, so it is basically
Just checking. Those are the people that are okay. Just wanted to make sure I had that story right.
So
it's still dry counties and sorry, Rob, go ahead.
Yes, it's just basically, hey, we're trying to initiate Dry January for your ass. I don't know. But that's running all day. So basically, like I said, it's from, you're talking all of New Year's Eve, all of New Year's Day, and then into Monday, which for 61 hours, I guess, what is that, like 11 a.m. or some shit? I don't know. Oh, no, that'd be 1 p.m. because it'd be 48, say 13 more hours. So, yeah, somewhere around there. But, yeah, you are not being able to buy anything. So, although they said that you'll be able to buy, actually, you will be able to buy wine and beer from supermarkets and convenience stores. But anything that uses spirits with more than 4% will have to wait until Tuesday. This article is somewhat misleading because it makes it sound like everything you can't get. But so I guess you can get.
So you can't buy, but if it's more than 4%, you can't buy it at the grocery store.
You cannot buy it. It says that you're able to buy wine and beer from supermarkets and convenience stores, but any cocktail that uses spirits with more than 4% alcohol will have to wait until Tuesday. It is a little bit misleading because it does make it seem like anything that's got more than 4% you can't get, but if it's a cocktail that.
So they're just hating on bars and restaurants then.
No, this is all to go.
Yeah.
This is all to go beer, not bars and restaurants.
I would hate to be the person working at the grocery store who can tell this guy, oh, you can go buy that Budweiser, but you have to put that bourbon back.
Put your bottle of 5 o'clock vodka back, sir.
Now is not the time for vodka.
I mean, especially with it being a time where the first team in your state goes to the college football playoff, and
that's over tomorrow. Who cares?
It most likely is. But at the same time, to be able to, I guess properly celebrate the Texan way in being able to buy what you want to buy, that you like for some items you need to do that within the next 7 hours.
This isn't a new law though, right? This is something they've been dealing with for years.
This is from what I'm gathering, this is This is not new.
It
just
looks just like that because it landed on a specific day
on the weekend. Yeah. Because it landed on the weekend, it really it's throwing everything off. But I kind of feel like especially for when you're talking about celebrating for the New Year's and celebrating for, especially with how important football is to Texas. I mean, shit, we all saw Varsity Blues. It's absolutely nuts out there. Like, I mean, give us a stay of execution for like 6 hours and just act like the fucking purge or some shit. And just like, all right, you can buy all your shit between 2 and 6 p.m. on New Year's Eve. Go.
Let's be honest. Everybody already had their alcohol like 4 hours ago in Texas. They knew if this is a new law, they already knew. They were already on top of that shit.
I mean, I don't know if I agree with that. I can't tell you how many times people would run into like a grocery store on Christmas Eve at 7 p.m. and they don't get served. Back in the old days of the Christmas Eve law here in Michigan, where from 6 p.m. Christmas Eve until 7 a.m. the day after Christmas, you couldn't buy beer or alcohol, period. Any alcohol, beer, wine, spirits.
That is true. There was always a few people. I worked Myers 1 year. 1 year. That's all it took. I worked Myers 1 year for Christmas. And yeah, you had people that came in and they didn't get it. But yeah, 1 year. That was all. I was like, nope.
1 year is
But it was really like a very minimal amount of people that came in at the last minute trying to get it, as opposed to all of the people that came in to buy all of the liquor for that like extra 5 hours.
Oof. Yeah, this is I don't know. I think I'm kind of feeling like where Ken is, the same thing where, what if it was like Christmas Eve? Because apparently this happened on Christmas as well. What if it's Christmas Eve and I'm rushing to go to the store to buy a bottle of Crown Royal for my uncle for Christmas. I can't buy it because I'm in the dry laws right now, and so kind of I don't know. You're not prepared. Be prepared. That's what you say. Be prepared. Go buy your shit now. You listened to this 2 days from now. 2 days ago.
Get him a gun instead. It's fine.
Shit.
They already have that.
Sorry, that's probably more political than we want to get.
Yeah, but you have two hands, so you can,
That's true. It's true. Got my 40 in one hand.
And my 45 in the other.
Yep.
Put them together, that's an 85. I think. I don't know how guns work very well. I know how to shoot them, that's all I know.
Oh, dear.
Wendy. Why don't you tell us what you got going on?
Believe it or not, I actually found a sports article that I want to talk about.
All right.
So apparently on Tuesday night, Luka, what was it, Doncic? Is that how I say it?
Is that that T-bar guy? Oh, never mind.
He shattered multiple records when he scored 60 points, grabbed 21 rebounds, dished I don't know what that word is. Had 10 assists, recorded 2 steals, and blocked 1 shot. What got my attention, though, was the fact that in his post-game interview, where he was obviously fucking tired from playing a crazy-ass game of basketball, said, "I'm tired as hell and I need a recovery beer." And I think I love it. I think, yeah, you deserve a fucking recovery beer after all that shit. But Luka Doncic beer was trending like as soon as the interview ended. And there's all kinds of beer companies that have come out and made posts about it. A Slovenian beer company even released a new recovery edition beer for him with his name on it, which I thought was kind of funny. I bet they didn't get his permission. But Michelob Ultra went a step above and beyond and actually sent him several cases of beer. So I think that's amazing. I love it. I think it's marketing genius for their social media people. So I am going to now turn it over to you guys to talk sports.
Oh, I should have saved the Ben Roethlisberger comment for this. I had no idea.
Well, I mean, he definitely. I mean, as far as a NBA night, that is definitely up there. There's not. I think they said that is the first time in NBA history that someone has put up a 60-20-10 stat line. But as far as points is concerned, he's put up a lot. But Kobe's put up 83. Wilt's put up 100.
He scored 25 points in the second half on his own, or second quarter. I don't even know what the fuck it's basketball on his own.
Yeah,
come on.
And LeBron has done that to our Pistons once in overtime in a playoff game once, and that was just like, all right, the Pistons are done for the next 20 years, and we haven't heard from them again. I mean, it is, and I love the idea of a recovery beer. I remember when back in my slightly skinnier days and doing 5Ks that. There were the place that I would always go to get my shoes. Shout out to Run Detroit and Justin over there and his team. He always said that it's actually pretty good to have a recovery beer after doing a distance run. And so, running back and forth on the court, putting up 60. Obviously, he's done enough runs that he needs a recovery beer. And actually, I was just looking up. There is a company called Thrive Beer that makes the world's first sports recovery beer.
We talked about that on an episode before.
They with this whole article that came out that they need to get in touch with Luka and figure out how to get some sponsorship going on so that he can start. Making them some money and have them pay him some money for this recovery beer. Cause I mean, hell, it's nice. And it's kind of good to hear somebody in the sports world to just kind of throw that out there that, not all beer are, just those that just kick back and relax and just do nothing. And they're not necessarily those where you drink Michelob 64, where you look obscenely skinny and you get to be able to run 200 miles and just have a beer and look that good. Fuck that. Now I'm bitter. God damn.
Well, Mick Ultra is kind of more like water, let's be honest.
I'll be curious if any of the major athletics reach out to him or partake, or maybe some of the NA beers that they want to, put their name on. The only one I could think of with a name like Luka, there's only so many breweries that can afford that person, because he is easily one of the top 5 probably players in the game right now. So it's kind of I don't foresee too many people. I did see the Twitter tweet of Mick Ultra sending them boxes of beers, which is funny.
Why are we sending free beer to these millionaires? It's the real question. What are you guys doing?
Because you send
social
them
media. Yeah,
I was gonna say you send them what looks like maybe $150 worth of beer, and you get $10,000 worth of free advertising easily.
Yep, that brings up a good point. Are you going to go buy a beer because you see this guy drinking it on Twitter? I'm not.
You're not, but
Wendy, you might. I know Wendy. As soon as I said, I'm like, Wendy actually goes for all this. She talks about it all the time. So I guess that's a dumb question.
I'm not buying Mick Ultra, but thanks.
No, okay, but you know what I mean. You're like, yeah, I fall for that all the time. If
I do,
if it was,
if a fucking batch sent him a 6-pack of something, I might go and buy it. I'm not gonna lie. I might buy the Luka recovery beer if I can get it here. It's a Slovenian beer, whatever.
I mean, it's all advertising. We were all trained in this, going all the way back to the whatchamacallit, the G.I. Joe carrier base, and the Transformers. What was it, like the Optimus, like the whole Autobot base, like all that stuff was groomed from kids, like seeing that advertising, and then all of a sudden, and then it just goes to Michael Jordan trying to sell his shoes. Why can't a beer person or an NBA player sell beer?
Oh my God, that's funny. I was thinking of the Hamburglar.
The Hamburglar sold Happy Meals.
Hamburglar sold Happy Meals.
That motherfucker ain't even real. Shit.
And
he was fucking funny.
You know who did that really good was like Master P and all those guys. Like Master P would be rapping about Mystical's new album, and then next week Mystical's new album would come out, and then he would mention Silk the Shocker's album.
Hell yeah.
And then you'd have to go buy that one.
Right.
They were good. How many liquors do you drink because of people talked about it in songs?
Me?
Zero.
Like zero.
That's not true. I don't believe that's true at all. I don't think that's true at all.
It is zero. I mean, I don't like anything that gets sung about from Jay-Z to Diddy.
I'm not talking about now. I'm talking about back in the day.
Like
what was sang about back
when
in the
you were
day?
young
like
and listening to
like you couldn't afford Cristal when they were singing about that. Like you're a kid listening, you're not gonna get a $300 bottle of champagne.
Well, there's the what do you call it? It's the overpriced champagne, like your Dom or your Cristal, like that type of late 90s, early 2000s R&B and hip hop. But if there was, some type of person singing about like Mad Dog 2020 or what, like think of a country song. How many country songs will talk about like Budweiser or Coors or something, and people will go buy off of that.
That was like a Grammy requirement. You couldn't get a Grammy if you weren't singing about that shit.
But here's what you're going to see with this is that you're going to have the at the bar conversations, the people who are drinking your Bud Miller Coors at the bar. They're going to see the highlight. They're going to show it. They're going to see the tweet on ESPN at the bar, and then they're going to order a Mick Ultra. So people are going to choose. People are going to choose Mick Ultra just from getting that subliminal messaging in their mind to buy that Mick Ultra simply from, Luka drinks it. And not like I'm going to be like Luka now that I drink it, but they're going to be like, oh yeah, Mick Ultra, that exists. I'm going to drink it.
And Luka will never actually have to drink a Mick Ultra.
Oh, no.
Nope. They could fill that can with water. It could basically be a can of liquid death. And just be the water and just put a different label on it.
Yep, it was $150 write-off for Mick Ultra. They were like, that's how much this picture costs, but it's going to make them money.
Yeah, exactly.
Are we on to me?
I think so.
Yeah, we are on to Ken.
My article is coming from Brewbound, and it is the discussion of what they expect to see with how spending is going to be and how people are going to be going out to drink or still staying in to drink. While on-premise has seen some recovery, spirit sales at restaurants and bars have yet to reach pre-pandemic levels, indicating that consumers are increasingly turning to at-home consumption and looking to on-premise for special experiences. Now, I think we talked about it with the Pilsner-ish guy. The death of the lunch bar, where a lot of places would be open for lunch because they service some type of business area, business industry. And while you're going to see places that do require people to be on site to work, as more people are working remote, I think we're going to start seeing the death of the lunch bar. People are going to start just drinking more at home because it's cheaper. And in 2023, I think it's going to start still creeping up, but I still don't think we're going to reach pre-pandemic levels of going to bars, restaurants, breweries, etc. Ever again. I think, 2019 is probably going to be the leading year. So my question to you guys, as I take it to you, is that will you be going to bars as, COVID is kind of died down for the most part?
Why'd you say it like that?
I mean, it's still out there. It's not something to fuck with, and it's still out there, and people are still dying and hurting from it. But as we are vaxxed and boosted and quadruple boosted and quintuple boosted? Is it just let's get out there and go, or is it I'm still gonna save my money and stay in? I mean, here at Better on Draft, we might probably do a few more on-site shows than we have the past few years. Not many, but covering some more on-site stuff. But what about you guys? Are you guys gonna go out more in the next year, or are you gonna keep it the same? I think Dan, you probably Dan and Wendy, I think, go out the most between the four of us.
Oh yeah. I'll tell you what too. Especially with the Coyotes moving to Tempe right off of Mill Ave. It's just a giant party scene now. I try to go to as many home games as possible since it's about 10 minutes away from the house. And Mill Ave, if Rob, you've probably been to Tempe. I don't know. Ken, you have too. You've been down to there too.
Yep.
It's one of the biggest. It is the biggest party school in America, and that just whole area is insane. Now Coyotes fans are taking it over. So hell yeah, I'm down there probably 2 to 3 times a week when they're in town, and a lot of other people are too. At least out here, it started to pick up big time again.
Do you think they'll do they have a contract for how long they're going to stay at Mullet Arena, or?
Well, they're at Mullet Arena till the new arena gets built, which
gotcha.
There's like a 99% chance. Yeah, sorry.
Mullet Arena?
Yes. Yeah, it's Mullet Arena. It's the last name of the people the boosters who put a lot of money into
God, I need to go to
ASU
Arizona.
Getting a Division I team.
I need to visit Arizona. I'm just saying. That's okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
But yeah, so where Mullet Arena is, where the new arena is going to be built, it's about a 5-minute difference from one side to the other. It's right now they're on the east side of Mill Ave, over by where the football stadium is. The permanent arena is going to go about on the other side of Mill Ave, about 5 minutes west of where Mill Avenue is. So I mean, they're there for good. And you've already got Coyotes fans taking over the bars down there during the pregame. It's just going to continue. So it's probably a different situation for me because I go to so many of those. But I see a lot of people out in general. You wouldn't think there's anything going on here with how many people are out and about everywhere.
I think it's more personal preference than state or federal regulations. Like I don't know if the coupling of COVID plus getting a little bit older has me just like I don't care to go out anymore. I mean, Dan, when I was in my early 20s and I was hanging out with you, like every single night was dedicated to a certain spot. Like either you're going to the bowling alley, or you're going to the karaoke bar, or you're going to City Club, or you're going to Augie's, or you like each day had its own drinking spot that you went to based on what was going on. Like Tuesdays and or Thursdays were Augie's, and then Fridays and Saturdays City Club, and then Sunday nights usually we were bowling in a league at the alley, so we were at a bowling alley or we were at On the Rocks. Like,
isn't that just an age thing though?
I mean, that might be, but I kind of died down years ago. Sorry, I'm just trying to remember the time, and
sorry,
I'm like,
I just threw that out there because I was like, I remember doing all that stuff too. Like every night, you were at a different place, and you know where you were going to be every night.
Mm-hmm. And everyone knew where you were going to be.
I mean, that's
you didn't have to message on Facebook or MySpace or something like that.
Everybody was at the same spot.
Exactly, and you knew what spot they were going to be at, which day they were going to be there. You didn't have to invite, like, say, hey, can I come, or hey, can I? You just showed up and sat down with a beer and went.
Yeah.
But I mean, I couldn't tell you the last time that I went to a bar to go to a bar. Like I joined my local Moose Lodge, and I don't even go there.
You should. They're fantastic.
Oh, I've loved every single time that I've been there. I played euchre with all the 70-year-olds who were in the weekly euchre league, and I learned a lot.
Welcome, Tommy.
What's that?
I said you're welcome, Tommy. He'll know what I mean.
Okay. Yeah, so like for me, like I don't foresee wanting to go to breweries anymore. I don't want not wanting to go to breweries, wanting to do like massive brewery tours that I used to do. Like and I think that also comes with not traveling anymore for work. Like I just don't care to go anywhere on my own.
All right.
I miss the massive brewery tours a lot. But with age and with COVID, things have changed. I think a lot of people just don't want to go out as much. I think we're also getting used to being back in public with people again. We forgot how much people can kind of suck sometimes until we got out there. And then we're like, oh, okay, that sucked. I won't do that again next weekend. And it takes us a couple more weeks to get back out. I think eventually we'll get back to it. I don't think it's going to disappear forever, but I think it is going to take a little while before we all get back to the point where we want to be out all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm the type of person who wants to be out all the time. And even I'm like, yeah, like I had 2 events on Halloween that I was invited to, and I forgot about one of them. So I was planning on going to one, and the other person reminded me that I was supposed to go to that other event, and I was like, that's one too many. I can't go to either of them. So, I mean, I think people are just a little more cautious about what they're doing and where they're going right now. Not that they're not ever going to go back out there.
Rob, you're awfully quiet.
Well, I mean, for me, I'm not going out much. I wasn't really going out much beforehand.
You were still getting out for how many nights of trivia you were hosting a week?
I mean, well, I'm just talking. I'm not talking in terms of trivia. I mean, obviously there is going out for trivia and going out and hosting trivia and just doing the job. I mean, I'm not necessarily going out to just kind of hang out, sit at the bar and hang with friends. I mean, even though in a way with trying to host trivia, that's what I'm trying to do, except I'm trying to get paid to do it. But I've got my normal shows. I'm out on Monday, I'm out on Wednesday. But other than that, I mean, I'm not looking to really, go out and, go from brewery to brewery. There are places where I'd love to check out, every once in a while and maybe try and stop in on a weekend and grab something just to try it. But, there's, as far as anybody to like hang out with, I have a whole bunch of friends out here who have kids, and there's not a whole lot of travel. And on top of that, I basically stay within, roughly a, 10 to 15 mile radius. I don't necessarily go anywhere. And I don't really feel like, other than, doing the trivia, that I don't really have that much that I want to do, I guess. I don't know. So go ahead, Wendy.
Can I just say what's funny about that is that your aged kids are the ones we don't care if they're in the breweries.
Yeah, just bring the whole
them
family
with you.
along.
They like food, I guarantee it.
I bring them in the summer, when there's no school, and take them to the shows there so that they can just kind of hang out and be out of the house and give my wife a little bit of a break. But yeah, I mean, they're too busy just on their phone. They just want to stay in the house and play video games now. So.
All right. Well, I want to end the show on something a little bit more fun, because it is the holiday season, and I was looking to see what movies had come out this year. And I noticed there is a movie with Bruce Willis and John Travolta called Paradise City. And I'm like, wow, that looks like another movie I saw. Or not saw, but saw a photo of. And that was a movie called Gasoline Alley with Bruce Willis and Luke Wilson. And I'm like, wow, that looked like another movie that I saw. And that was a movie with Bruce Willis and Michael Rooker. And then I'm like, how many movies have Bruce Willis made this year? So my final question to you guys, how many movies has Bruce Willis released this year in 2022? There is obviously a right answer, but it doesn't matter if you get it right or wrong.
I didn't even know he was still putting movies out.
You know the story behind the whole Bruce Willis thing, right?
Yeah. He fell ill, didn't he? and he's trying to like get out a bunch of stuff and work with a bunch of people he wanted to work with before. He is unable to act anymore.
Yeah.
He's got aphasia.
Yep. I guess I'll throw a number out there because I believe. I think it's like 10.
Holy crap.
Dan, what do you think?
I wasn't going to go that high.
I was going to say 5.
I think I'm going to lose this game.
Dan says 5. Rob says 10. Wendy?
I'm going to go with 6, just because I'm in the middle.
The correct answer, Rob's going to get it, because the answer is 14.
Wow.
Dang.
He has released 14 movies this year. Now, as an added bonus, on the main posters of these 14 movies, how many guns are there?
Oh my god.
Total? Total on all?
Wait, how many movies was it?
14 movies.
Are these like straight to DVD movies?
I'm going to say 26.
I believe a lot of them are like straight to DVD or straight to streaming.
Like straight to Paramount Plus. Like, check out the news Bruce Willis movie.
Oh yeah, for sure.
How many guns on the 14? I'm going to say 46.
Yum. Jeez, y'all go on the high ends. Now I need to go on the low end.
There should only be like 2 guns per.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So I'm gonna say 16. There's got to be covers on there where there is no gun. So I'm trying to do proportional and basically say, okay, out of 14, there's probably like 5 where there's no gun. But then there's another movie where there's like 3, but then there's one where there's 1. So
So what's funny is that I've looked at all these posters a bunch of times, and every time I've counted the guns, I've come up with a different number.
What numbers did you come up with?
So the answer that I have is 18.
Not 46?
Not 46. I did not get that high. There are some with no guns, like the movie with Bruce Willis and Michael Rooker called Corrective Measures, which is a Tubi original. There's one where neither of them are holding a gun, but there's like a Black Ops person in the Kevin Dillon, Bruce Willis movie Wired Room, which has one that I saw like late. And then there's one with, I don't recognize any of these names, but Lachlan Monroe and Jimmy Jean Lewis, where there's no guns.
Sounds like a boring movie.
Unless you count like the guns that are like, you could see kind of like the backs of them on his like chest. I was about to say chest plate, but like backpack for guns, whatever the fuck they're called. It's the dumb thing that Steven Crowder wears on his podcast indoors.
The backpack for guns.
Where he's like, oh, I'm a tough guy because I have these guns on me, even though I'm in my own private studio. Yeah, a gun holster. That's it.
Is that what we were talking about?
That's what I'm talking about, a gun holster. But like the cop one, where you it's like a backpack. It's got like the over the shoulders, and yeah.
Oh, okay.
I told you guys I don't mess with them.
Not everybody messes with guns.
There's a movie with Mike Tyson that he's in.
Oh my god, I gotta see that one.
That's called Vendetta.
I enjoyed him.
Are there
in
guns on that poster?
There is. On the poster, 3 people are holding guns. He is not one of them. I believe Theo Rossi is holding one. And then there's a guy that I can't recognize.
Wait, how many is Mike Tyson holding?
1.
Oh, I figured he'd have like 3 or 4.
Wait, how many did you pick, Rob? Was it 14? What? No, it wasn't 14 because that's how many movies.
I said 16 guns, but I said 10 movies.
Okay, 16 guns. I said 26. Dan said 46.
Yeah, there's
Which is
a lot
probably
of them.
how many are in the movies.
Like Fortress Sniper's Eye, everybody's favorite movie in the Fortress series, Fortress Sniper's Eye, has none in them.
There's the Fortress series?
But now that I'm looking at the original Fortress movie with Jesse Metcalf and Chad Michael Murray, there is a gun in there now, so I miss that one every time.
Oh my god.
Folks, that's Better on Draft. Whoever's still listening live, thank you so much. This was fun. We will be back next year. Plenty of interviews. This year, next year.
Next year.
Fuck it. No matter what you think of your beer, we think it's Better on Draft. Have a good night.
Peace.